Can you guess where I am today? Look around, see if you can find anything that you know. I'm at our school, in our classroom. See, here's all of your names. It's kind of just like how we left it. Today I'm here with Miss Maldonado. We're here together, and we are going to clean up our classroom a little bit and get all of your things that you work so hard on, and we're gonna pack them all up so that you guys can take them home, okay? But today we're gonna be reading a story, and the story is called When the Monkeys Came Back. Let's see. This story is a great story, and it is about, let's see, what do you think? What do you think our story is going to be about? I see a lot of animals. Yo veo muchos animales. Y yo veo hojas. I see leaves. I wonder what our story is going to be about. We'll have to see. I'm going to bring this a tiny bit closer so that you guys can look at the pictures. Okay, when the monkeys came back. When Doña Marta was a very little girl, the valley was a peaceful place. Children giggled as they chased each other between rows of tall corn. Fathers whistled as they dug in the garden. Mothers hummed softly as they wrapped black beans and cornmeal in banana leaves to cook. There was one road in the valley, but it was an ox cart road, an open place for meeting friends or cousins, a nice place for walking, a sunny place for catching lizards. There weren't any cars at all. The valley was a quiet place, except for when the monkeys called. Every morning and every evening, for as long as anyone could remember, the monkeys announced the changing of the night into day, the changing of day into night. At dawn, they would howl and bark to one another, and the noise they made was like thunder in the trees. At dusk, they would hoot and scream, and each leaf and each blade of the grass would tremble from the sound. Whoa! Look at all those monkeys in the trees. Yo veo muchos monos en los árboles. One day, a car chugged and sputtered up the road. After more and more cars came, not many at first, for the road was an ox road, not a car road. Marta was afraid of cars. The sound and the smell made her hide behind her mother's skirt. More and more cars came, the trucks and more noise. Before long, it wasn't safe to walk down the middle of the road to stand and talk, to chase quick lizards. Still, the monkey shouted from the trees, drowning out all of the new noises for a few moments each day, hooting to one another as they always had. Waking up the world in the morning, calling the workers home from the fields at night. The rains came and went, and Marta's dress grew too short, and one day some men from the city came to Marta's house. They offered her father a lot of money, enough to buy 6 cows and a brand new dress for Marta, and asked to cut down some trees on the side of the mountain. Marta's father agreed. From that day on, the forest began to disappear. Uh-oh, they're cutting down the trees. Están cortando los árboles. ¿Qué piensas que va a pasar? What's going to happen? Oh no. What do you think? Look at all the animals staring at them. Mira los animales que están viendo las personas. Uh-oh, ¿qué va a pasar? What do you think? At first, it was just a few trees. The lumbermen cut down only the biggest tree. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The ones with the hanging vines. The monkeys didn't seem to mind. They howled and barked and scowled, just as before. But 5 years later, when there were only 24 trees left in the forest, the monkeys went away. Why would the monkeys go away? What do you think? ¿Por qué los monos van a ir del bosque? Mira, están cortando los árboles. They're cutting the trees. And when the trees get cut down, where are the animals supposed to live? What happens to their homes? They don't have homes anymore. They have to look for new homes because they're cutting the trees down. That's not very nice. If you were one of these animals, how would you feel? I would feel really sad that I lost my home because people are cutting them down. Oh no. Martha didn't know where the monkeys went. One night, just as the sun slipped behind the hills, the monkeys shrieked and hooted and cried louder than ever before. Some said it was because of the full moon. Others said the rainy season was near. But the next morning, the valley was as silent as a stone. Over the next several years, the last of the trees was cut down. What had once been a forest was now covered with stumps and tangled brush. There were a few birds, but no monkeys. Most of the people forgot about the monkeys. They had roosters to wake them up in the morning, lamps to work by night. But Martha didn't forget. Aww, all the monkeys left. When she was 15 years old, Martha married Emilio. Emilio worked for Martha's family, and when her father died, he left his farm to Martha and Emilio. You have a lot of land now, said Martha. I would like to have some of it for myself. Emilio laughed out loud. Ha! Because in those days, women did not own land. Soon we will have a family to feed, said Emilio. After I plant corns and beans and squash, there will be nothing left over to give you. The rest of the land belongs to the cows. What about the land on the other side of the mountain? Asked Martha. There are too many stumps for a garden, and it's too steep for cows. That's true, agreed Emilio, and though it went against the customs, he gave the land on the other side of the mountain to Martha. What are you going to do with your land? Asked Emilio. What do you think she's going to do? Look at the picture and take a guess. What will she do with that land? It looks like she has a little tree there. Do you think she's going to plant some food, or do you think she's going to plant some trees? What do you think? I think she might plant some trees. Let's see. I'm going to bring back the forest, said Martha, and that is what she did. If she's bringing back the forest, that means she has to plant all the trees all over again, right? Lots of trees. Martha planted trees from the foot of the mountain to as far up as she could climb. When the sun baked the ground in the dry season, she hauled buckets of water to the trees. When the hard rains washed the little trees from the soil, she gently replanted them. She's taking care of the trees. It's a lot of work, remember? And it takes a long time, but she's doing it. Year after year, Martha took care of the trees. In the next 15 years, she gave birth to 11 children. Each child learned to plant and tend trees. Year after year, Martha's children grew tall, and so did the trees. Coffee grows well on the mountain, Emilio would tease. Maybe you could plant coffee on your land. Martha didn't listen. She didn't change her mind, and the forest came back. What else came back? Do you see anything else that came back? The trees came back, and the animals. Some of the animals are starting to come back. That's exciting. Who do you think is going to come back next? Many more years passed. The trees grew higher and higher, and Martha's children grew up and had children of their own. Emilio died and left the farm to Martha and her sons. One day, old Doña Marta took a walk around the road in the warm sunshine. The children greeted her as she passed. "Good morning, tree lady," they said. She has a new nickname. Her nickname is Tree Lady. "Good morning," answered Doña Marta. With a wink and an old smile, she leaned on her stick and started across the valley. Oh, Doña Marta is older now. It takes that long for trees to grow, right? The trees are big now, but she's very old. Her trees touched the sky, thick vines wrapped around their trunks. Birds of every color filled the branches. Now, wherever they dropped their seeds, new trees would grow. The valley was bright with squash and corn and beans, but the sides of the mountain was deep, dark green, forest green. Doña Marta's work was finished. Look at those beautiful birds. Birds of every color. They all came back to the forest. And lizards came back. Wow. One night, Doña Marta couldn't sleep. As she lay in her bed, she listened to the sounds of insects, the twittering of the night birds. Out her little window, she watched the stars trail across the black sky. She watched the moon shadows shift and change in her room. As dawn approached, she heard the roosters beginning to crow, and then she heard another sound. What sound do you think she heard? Let's see. At first, it sounded like the barking of dogs, but soon the barking turned into howling. The howling turned into shrieks, the shrieks into shouts. Every leaf and every blade of the grass trembled with the sound. Doña Marta hobbled to the window and leaned out. The dark air thundered with the sound of... what animal? The monkeys! The monkeys came back! Yay! The dark air thundered with the sounds of monkeys hooting, howling, screaming from the treetops, waking up the whole world once again. Doña Marta closed her eyes, smiled and winked a smile, and listened to the music she had missed for 56 long years. It took 56 years for the monkeys to finally come back. Do you know why they came back? They came back because now they have this beautiful forest filled with trees where they can eat and sleep. Every morning now, old Doña Marta wakes up to the barking and scolding of the monkeys. Every evening, she waits for them to gather in the trees, to shriek and howl and say good night. For a few moments each morning and evening, the sound of the monkeys drowns out all of the other sounds in the valley. For a few moments each day, it is as if nothing had ever changed. How do you think Doña Marta feels now that the trees are back and the monkeys are back? I think she feels happy. She got exactly what she wanted. And there's a little monkey. I hope you like that story. And remember, we need to make sure that we're taking care of our trees because a lot of important animals live in the trees and foods grow on trees and they give us nice clean air. So we need to make sure that we take care of them, right? Yeah. Okay, boys and girls, I thought it would be a fun idea to walk you around the classroom so you could see it one more time before we have to pack it all up, okay? So let's see. Right here, I have our word wall. Tengo nuestro pared de palabras aquí. Y nuestro centro de escritura, arte, con algunos de tus trabajos aquí. Ay, mira, aquí tenemos Ethan. Y mira, no tenemos nuestra carpeta aquí. Ups. El club de cierres está aquí. Tus cubículos. Our wolf paws. ¿Qué más? Nuestro horario. Nuestro área de bloques ya está limpio. No tenemos nuestra carpeta aquí, pero sí tenemos nuestra área de la cocina. Mira, ahí tenemos nuestra lavadora. Ciencias. Espacio para pensar. Y eso es todo. Oh, y también las galletas inteligentes. Muy bien. Miss Maldonado, ¿quieres decir adiós?
Ay, adiós, niños. Estoy poniendo sus cositas para que se las lleven a casa y las disfruten en el verano.
Ok, bye, niños.